I was offered a bribe.
For 100 years now, the Persian kings had bribed the Greeks.
Asked who we bribed to get on Jim Lovell's crew.
I did not take a bribe, all right? I was accused of taking a bribe.
You must bribe.
We must say no to their businesses. We must say no to their pride.
And basically, if you misbehave and don't have the money to bribe them,
to sing us a song that would drive us insane and make our hearts swell and burst.
With the Minister of Health, to have you transferred to Kigali.
I tried to bribe you with a glass of lemonade.
I was offered a bribe.
Now we're cooking.
Had fallen from pride. For 100 years now, the Persian kings had bribed the Greeks with their gold to fight as mercenaries.
You know, my cousin called. Asked who we bribed to get on Jim Lovell's crew. Yeah. I just told him they wanted to make sure he...
The Japanese train over the Canadian train?
I did not take a bribe, all right? I was accused of taking a bribe. I have not been proven guilty yet.
Must be removed. Edward. You must bribe someone, his fencing master, perhaps. Promise.
We must say no. We must say no to their businesses. We must say no to their pride.
You tried to bribe the one guy that couldn't be bought.
get truncheons.
Oh, fucking hell.
Mate, they're all corrupt. And basically, if you misbehave and don't have the money to bribe them, they take you up to these shepherd's huts in the hills, beat you up.
What'd you do?
I bribed them to sing us a song that would drive us insane and make our hearts swell and burst.
What? I bribed the Minister of Health to have you transferred to Kigali.
Why?
To be clear.
Are you certain I should hear it?
I tried to bribe you with a glass of lemonade, and his shoes were borrowed.
Take a look at yourself. You're just a broke down old bribe-taking piece of meanness. You tell me, old man, what good are you?
Ever think of paying these guys off, did you?
Where the hell am I going to get the money to go bribing cops? Nobody authorized that.
Stuff ain't deductible, you know.
I'm not so sure. Item. One bribe, $80,000.
80. You're very handy with my dough, you know.
What do you kids do for money?
Take bribes off cops.
Come on, Tom.
You've never met a bribe you didn't like.
Oh, I see.
'Cause I didn't win. Because I shouldn't even have been there. Chaz told me you bribed the coach to put me on the team real good.
What? And you believed him?
Emails that the Kenyan government had approved the trial.
Somebody bribed them.
Who?
3 Bs, lawbear, we don't know. For $50,000.
Most fantastic story you ever heard. Apparently I bribed Swan to murder my wife so that, correct me if I go wrong, Mark, so that I could...
Discretion.
Well, you can have that for nothing. What we need money for is bribes. Speed things up.
No, nothing strictly illegal.
It's not illegal to bribe.
Kasalaman. Best. How? You mean toughest or easiest to bribe? Toughest.
In Roman times, when a fellow was convicted of trying to bribe a public official, they would cut off his nose and sew him in a bag with a wire.
You know cops are always being accused of assault, molestation, taking bribes, all kinds of shit. Jesus Christ!
Bribes. It's happening right now. That's happening right now.
Bribing members of Congress? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Stoddard.
No, shut up. Listen, you know who convicted to let
Stars could.
This did not stop Nick from bribing the dying man with a suitcase of cash to keep quiet on the subject of...
Butler, a cook, and 2 upstairs maids. All the servants are content, but can't be bribed.
Dogs?
2. Terrier.
Noticed. I don't have nearly enough cash on me to bribe this cop. And even if I did, there's always the outside chance he's one of the honest ones.
Till we get to a decent jail with bribable guards, I may stand in some need of rather close physical protection.
She should pay her kitchen porters better. Then it will not be easy to bribe them.
What a bribe?
That the people know I'm the one big enough to run it.
and that you are guilty of attempting to bribe an officer of the law.
Hey, not so fast, copper.
And I go to the expense of hiring an airplane to take you up so you get your hearing back? To the further expense of bribing the pilot so he'll land me in the middle of a strike massacre at Heron, Illinois? You scooped the whole word on the story. You made yourself the envy of every newspaper man alive.
Fool, Mr. Lyons.
And you know that fire inspector, don't worry about him. He's always coming around here sucking up trying to get bribes.
You mean you don't have to read my lips? They told me that...
They fled across the country. Bribed guards with jewels sewn into her blouse.
Skirt.
Was it?
How is this different from any other absurd new tax? When a man like that can demand a bribe out in the open, with no fear of recourse.
Culture clash? If it were the custom in your land to bribe people for grades.
Yes.
So...
Besides, you ain't got enough dough to bribe me.
Grand.
5 years ago, Deng would not have had to bribe 10 employees, 2 supervisors, a local politician, all of whom...
And a girl with the right father, you think you can leap over it all in a single bound. You haven't had to bribe or charm or threaten your way to a seat at that table. You don't know how to assess your competition.
Accepted bribes. What? God damn it, he was the only judge since Cato who didn't accept bribes. When was the last a chancellor whose possessions after 3...
From England? I tell you, London let him go because they wanted him to go. They found him, bribed him, turned
I tell you, they couldn't have done it. Control couldn't have run him without my knowledge. You're mad.
And Grandad's in his room, asleep, I think.
You bribed my parents and jailed my granddad. Good.
I am an idiot.
Cocaine smuggling, racketeering, and bribing government officials, he certainly doesn't show it. But no...
50,000 lira a month? You know, by offering me bribes, you are insulting me.
Your Excellency.
To do yours, that's how bribes work.
I know how bribes work. I bribe people all the time, but I changed my mind. It's a free country. Lesson learned.
It's Mommy house? Yes. How did you get it? Bribed her maid.
I'm gonna spend every nickel of that money to fuck you up. I'm gonna bribe cops to go after you. I'm gonna pay guys to go after your weak fucking crew, and I'm gonna tell...
You know, it cost us centuries just to bribe our way in here. Let's see what it got us.
In exchange for her becoming his wife. Actually trying to bribe her. The man was so...
Until they leave.
Damn it, you read! Come on, read that, read!
If it was worth the paper it was printed on, you wouldn't be trying to bribe me.
Don't speak. I don't want to hear your voice. Just nod. Start looking for a shrink you can bribe to swear under oath he can find absolutely nothing wrong with me.
The case was bolstered at trial by testimony from an informant, B.J. Corliss of Mesa, who would claim Bentley bragged to him about the rape while together in the home.
Or any other fatigue duty for that matter.
If you think you can bribe me at the boxing warden, you're wrong. You're wrong. Not you and Dynamite.
Him too.
One of these days, Colonel Saito's gonna catch you bribing him. Then where'll we be?
Good. You couldn't recognize him. Good. They deserved it.
Even the hacks we couldn't bribe would never rat on the guys that we did.
The neighborhood had respect. People loved one another. You left your doors open.
They were all booked here. You took them. What'd you do, bribe them? Buy them? Trick them?
Yes.
You brought them here to...
This is blood money, Marion. It's intended to bribe King Richard's enemies to unite against him. We intercepted it.
Dante's a traitor our patriots can understand.
Dante won't deal with a professional. He won't be bribed or threatened. He's straight. Do you remember straight?
She's cried in my arms for hours for fear I leave her behind. And what's more, she's made 2 trips to the plateau to bribe the porters. For me.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it.
All right, I'll...
Well, that should please you. No bribe attempts or blubbering. You simply said please.
Bribe. For official monkeys like you.
I bribed him to sell the nice stuff. Clearly, I just escaped from jail.